If you're in the UK, do not do these government funded skill things. Honestly, my experience over the last month has just been ridiculous. So they advertise these free online skills things. They say free. Number one, you have to fit the criteria in order for it to be free. The criteria isn't exactly crazy or extreme, but it's all about like how much you're earning and if you're on any of these courses as it is. Most people, I'll imagine, probably won't fit the criteria because of what you're earning. However, if you are in a low income, you will probably fit the criteria easy enough. But the experience I have had has been ridiculous because it's a case of you apply to go on to a specific course. Then it was called the Skills Network. Everything seems to go through the Skills Network. And I say everything because it will be coming clear later on. So I applied to do a course through the Skills Network. You have to go through various stages. You have to do a numeracy and literacy kind of little, not an exam, but they just kind of gauge where you're at and this kind of thing. And they give you a little email every time you kind of go through the stages. The first stage is just putting your details in. The second stage is doing the numeracy and literacy thing. And the third stage is where they have to find you funding. If you qualify for funding, they then go, yeah, we've got all your details. We're now going to see if we can find you funding. They say you will hear back within 72 hours. 2 weeks later, I've still not heard back. I email them and I get an email back saying, yeah, we're just trying to find you a source of funding. So what I did was I looked for the same course to see if I could find it elsewhere. It was an online course. It's the sort of thing that you start whenever they send you all the information and then you just hammer it. And you're supposed to dedicate between, well, it says on the thing, it says 5 hours a week. But if you read a little bit deeper, it suggests 10 to 12 hours a week. Anyway, I digress. I went on, because it was dragging so long, I went on the internet and to see if I could find it anywhere else. I found a local college offering the same course. I went down the same road, asked them a load of questions, and they were able to say, yeah, if you'd like to sign up, this is what it is, blah, 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 blah. I went through all the process, and then it goes, oh, you have to sign up with the Skills Network. Once you've got your email to say, you know, congratulations, you've completed your numeracy and literacy thing, we're now looking for funding. Send the brick and mortar college the email about the funding, and they'll provide the funding. I did just that. And they said, that's great, because you got to us so soon, we will process this straight away. That was a week ago. I have still heard nothing. So today I phoned them up. Now, fair enough, the phone people were really quite kind and quite helpful. Phoned them up, asked them the question. She says, yeah, we've got you on record. We're still looking for funding. I explained the situation where it's like, well, I found my own funding because you guys are taking so long. I've got emails that say that they'll fund it and everything else. And she's like, okay, well, on our system, none of that has come through. Are you able to forward us the emails? They give me an email address. I spent an hour trying to forward emails to this email address, and every time I sent an email, the postmaster thing that's on Outlook just bounced it back and said, we can't find this person, it doesn't exist. I tried everything, tweaked spelling, tweaked, punctuation. I went onto the internet to try and find the email address for these people. It doesn't exist anywhere on the internet. And eventually, after getting really frustrated, I get an email that's from this email address that apparently I cannot send to, saying, yeah, we've got you a ticket number thing, so, we'll get back to you with more information as and when. Great. So then I gather up as much information as I can and reply to that email, knowing that now there is a direct link, there is a reply there, boom. And it's just like, oh yeah, we can't see any of these emails. It's like, how can you not see it? It's literally right there in front of me. You can see it on any screen. It's just a forwarded email. It's not like it's just blank. It's literally like just forwarded an email. How do you not see a forwarded email? And I must say, for something that's supposed to take no more than 3 days, it is now over 3 weeks later. I wanted to start this course at the start of November. It is December on Friday, and I'm still nowhere. I also don't understand how 3 weeks they still haven't found funding, yet I was able to find it with a Google search and I found it and applied for it in a day. I don't understand. And this is what really frustrates me, right? I'm struggling with so much in life that I'm trying to improve what I can, where I'm trying to move things in a direction that put me in a better place in life. But every time I try to do that, I hit this ridiculous resistance. And it's not even that I'm asking for a lot. I'm asking basically for all the dots to be connected. I found a course that I was really interested in, and it was a funded course. They couldn't find funding. I then found the funding and linked the course to the funding and had the funding say, yes, we're going to process it. Awesome. And still, the dots don't connect. I don't understand how or why, because I just feel what I try to do hits so much resistance. And it's not like it's a little bit of resistance. It's basically like, oh, we can't find funding. So they just don't communicate anything with you. I found funding and they say they processed it. And I said to them, well, are you able to move along? And they're like, no, you're better off phoning these guys to find out where it is. So you phone them and just everything tries to stop you sending the information to them. And it's just like why and how? I'm trying and it's getting really demoralising. Really, really demoralising. So I'm just a bit, I don't know what the word is, where it's just like, you try a little bit because it's suggested to try a little bit because a little bit's easier to change than a lot. So you try to change a little bit. But the resistance that tiny little bit meets is just ridiculous. And it just reinforces the stress I have in my head that if I want to better myself, and I'm not talking about becoming this great whatever, I'm just talking about just trying to increase the quality of my life just a little bit. If I have to do that, it feels that everything has to come through me. I cannot rely on any other service that is out there that is supposed to offer various things because they just don't help. They just add the resistance, add to the stress, add to the feeling that fucking hell, you are alone in this world if you want to try and do something. I mean, I've got my counsellor telling me just to cheer up, think positive and get off my bum and do something. And then I've got me trying to find this course that is potentially a direction that I'd like to go in life, which hits every resistance that it can possibly hit. And it's just fatiguing. It really is just fatiguing. I just don't get it. It's all I can say. I just don't get it. And I know it's like a momentum thing. They say usually, and you can feel it sometimes, if you're more positive in life, if things are looking good for you and things are going well, you seem to find yourself usually in a position where more things seem to go well for you. And it is the same for the opposite, where if you're down and out, everything feels like it's against you. And it really does feel like that. And it's like I'm sitting here and I'm trying to push things ever so slightly towards that lane of positivity, but it's just like, nope, nah. I don't know. I just needed to get that one out. I really did need to get that one out because it's so frustrating that you're relying on government-backed things to try and help you out, and they can't even communicate with each other. They can't even find you the funding that you can find in your own time faster than anything, and it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.